Hi, guys. This is Ms. Hancock from the counseling department. Today and Wednesday, I'm going to be going over some tips for how you can end the semester strong. I have emailed this presentation to all of you, as well as all of the documents that I refer to that you can print up. So if you're interested in utilizing any of the tips that I go over today or Wednesday, please know you can find this email in your student email, as well as attachments to all of the documents I refer to. As we come to the end of this semester, I know this is a time that many of you start to think, what can you do? What work can you make up? How can you do your best on your final or any culminating project or presentation you have coming up? So we thought this was the ideal time to pause and go over a few steps that you can make the end of the semester the best it can possibly be. I think the first step is really assessing where you stand. So I would do that by reviewing your gradebook summary for each one of your classes in Aries. You can take a look at any work that's missing or even some of those great opportunities teachers give you to redo something that had a low grade. At this point, you want to get as many points possible so you can get the highest grade at the end of the semester. When going through Aries, remember that this is a real action step. You're going to make a list of the work you need to do and a real specific plan for completion. You need to communicate with your teacher about your plan because you have to ensure that it's actually feasible for you to do that work and that the teacher is still accepting late work to get into the grade book. It's important if they are accepting late work that you know what the deadline is for accepting that work. Teachers have a lot to do to prepare for the end of the semester, and oftentimes their cutoff date for late work needs to come well before when their grades are due. One pro tip I would highly recommend is that you remember that extra credit and hounding your teachers for extra credit at this point is not going to save you. If you have missing work, you need to do the missing work. Extra credit is often best utilized for students that have all of their work in and they already have a passing grade. They're just trying to raise that grade maybe to the next letter. Missing work needs to be completed. Extra credit is not a replacement for your missing work. So please remember that when you are speaking to your teachers and you're in a panic, that the ideal way to approach that situation is to focus on the work that's missing and have it completed. Okay, so you have reviewed Aries, you know what work you have missing, or you know what projects and presentations you have coming up. Now you needed to develop a game plan. I've provided a sample game plan here. You'll see that each period is represented. You can write the class, what your current grade is. If there's missing work, list it. If there is a final or in the semester project, describe it, put the number of points that are possible. Your teacher has certainly communicated their support and availability. Go ahead and note that here as well. And then your completion plan. And this is really where you're going to write at least 3 action steps of how you plan to handle the missing work or preparing for any final exams or presentations. Then at the bottom, just take a minute to reflect on the first semester and identify a goal for the second semester. Again, this is a sample. If you're interested in that sample, you can click on this link and print it. This presentation, again, is in your email with all of these attachments. So this is one of those things that I have sent to you that you can print. So you know what you need to do. You've written out a plan. The next step is really knowing what your supports are. Know when your teachers are available, where you can go find some of that extra tutoring, how to log into Khan Academy and search for the different lecture topics. It's a great way to rehear something that you've already heard in class, maybe in a different voice from a different point of view. Khan Academy has a wide range of subjects, and you can literally just key in the topic and you can find a video on it. You can often even find some practice work on it. Just another way to reinforce that learning. Here on campus, we have tutoring daily in our library until 6 o'clock. The Gear Up tutors are in there until 3:45, and then the Anaheim Achieve College tutors are there until 6. You can also get some support on late start Tuesdays. All of that takes place in the library. Also, your teachers are an amazing support. And a real pro tip here is that students that meet with their teachers for one-on-one feedback and actually implement their teacher's suggestions do better on exams. So, taking time to go see your teacher before your final is a really great idea. You've likely taken a few tests in each of your classes, and you can take some of those tests in or to even discuss how you did on those tests and say, hey, what can I do differently on this final exam? And so I can see some improvement. It's often not about studying harder. It's more about studying smarter. And the teacher knows what they're looking for, so they're the ideal source to reach out to. The third step in preparing to end the semester is really about putting your plan together, because quite frankly, a goal without a plan is really just a wish. So it's important that you put it in writing. As you start looking over at the next 2 weeks, know that cramming your plan into one day is not going to work. You're going to need to estimate the time you need to complete each task. So I suggest you take the game plan that you've already completed and start writing out estimates of how long each thing on your game plan will take. Then schedule when you're going to do each item on your list. And here's a sample of a weekly study plan. Kind of shows you getting out of school at 3, being done at 10. It's about 7 hours in here every day. Go through first and block off, like, when you have soccer practice or when you have to go to work or when you're babysitting brothers and sisters. And then go in and fill out when you're going to study for your history exam. You're going to work on your English presentation. You're going to meet with the tutor for your math final, and literally put it in writing. If you like this idea, there's a way you can print it. There's a link to it, and I've also sent it to you in your email. I think that this is a great strategy because when you write something down, it's like a commitment. You should check it daily, stick to it, and start checking things off. This is not just a great way to end the semester, but this is a great way to manage each week as you start the second semester. It's a really good habit, and people that are highly organized and good time managers often utilize a strategy like this, not just when they're in school, but in the rest of their life. A pro tip here is each 30-minute increment is really accounted for, and you want to use your time wisely. And so turn off your phone. During that study time, you're going to be way more productive if you have that phone turned off. You're going to get more done, and you're going to retain more information. So the third and final step is writing it all down. I hope you have found some of these things that we've gone over today useful. We're going to be back on Wednesday to discuss some study tips and how to understand which study tips work best for your learning style. Again, be sure to check your email for this lesson and the printable plans for you to use in planning for the end of this semester and really for prepping and maintaining all through second semester. Have a great day.